Hello, I'm Teresa Halverson with the Manor at Blue Water Bay. This year I'm serving as the chairman of the board for the Niceville-Valparaiso Chamber. Today we're speaking with candidates running for the Superintendent of Schools for Okaloosa County. First, I'd like to welcome Marcus Chambers. Hi Marcus, how are you today?
I'm good, Teresa. How are you doing?
Good, thanks for being here with us. Please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I think I'd like to say first and foremost, I grew up in a military family. My father was in the military for about 33 years, so I had the blessings of moving around to different places. But after high school, I went to college to be an educator, and that's something that I'm extremely proud of. But I also had the fortunate ability to play a little bit of sports as well. My wife is a teacher here at Niceville High School in our local area, and both of my kids are also in the school system. Matter of fact, my daughter is graduating tonight. And
congratulations.
Thank you, I appreciate it. And just a little bit about myself, I was a former teacher at Ruckle Middle School and a coach, and I was blessed to be a principal at Longwood Elementary, Pryor Middle School, and then here at Niceville High School. So all of these types of experiences have helped kind of develop me into the person I am. And I think one thing that Mrs. Morgan, my principal, taught me early on is make decisions based on what is best for students. And I've always tried to keep that in mind.
That's a great thought. What makes you the best person to lead our schools here in Okaloosa County?
Well, I think what I believe is, once again, if you have your focus in the right areas, which is our students and our employees, and trying to make the best decisions for them, I don't think you can go wrong. I think my experience as an educator, just sharing as a classroom teacher, kind of shaped me into who I am. And then, of course, your experiences as a principal, when you're dealing with parents who may have concerns, you're dealing with employees who may have concerns or successes, but then also understanding the budget at each level, I think is important. So my experience as an educator over the last 23 years, I think has really helped prepare me for where I am today and, of course, going forward.
Perfect, thank you. And what do you feel is the biggest challenge today facing Okaloosa County schools?
Well, probably 4 months ago, I would have said our aging infrastructure.
Yeah.
But today, I would say it's reopening schools safely.
Certainly.
And we've done a lot of work to make sure that we're ready to reopen schools. And we've surveyed parents, we've surveyed employees, we've established work groups to look at all different types of situations. What will arrival look like when students come? It's going to be different. What will departure look like? What will the cafeteria and the hallways look like? And we knew that we needed to provide our families options. So we have options where students can come into the school building, but also where they can do their school online. So we've created what we call My School Online.
Okay.
And it allows students to stay connected to their local school. And we believe that that's important. And as you know, in this amount of time, to share all about reopening is very difficult. It actually takes me about an hour and 47 minutes to do so.
Oh.
But we are working hard to provide our families options so when they do come back, they feel as safe as possible.
Certainly. So you've been working, I'm sure it's been a very challenging summer for you so far.
About 8 weeks straight.
Yes, sir. Please share some closing messages to our voters, anything you'd like to say.
Well, I truly believe that education is the foundation by which this country is founded on. And you look at education, it's the equalizer, it's what provides opportunities. But here in Okaloosa County, we're blessed to have the 4th rated school district in the state of Florida. My goal is to get us back to number 1, not just for ranking's sake, but to do what's right for kids and our employees. We have to make sure that our schools are as safe as possible as it pertains to even looking at our single point of entry, making sure that our perimeters are strong, but also career and technical education is something that we will continue to focus on in this school district. And I would just close in saying, once again, I'm an educator. I've been in this district for 23 years. My heart is here, my soul is here, my passion is here for our students and our employees. And come August 18th, I would absolutely love your vote.
Well, Marcus, thank you for coming to join us today. We are very proud of our schools in Okaloosa County and everything all the educators do. And we wish you the best of luck in the elections. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hi, I'd like to welcome Ray Sampson, candidate for Okaloosa Superintendent of Schools. Ray, thank you for being here today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, thank you. Well, first of all, thank you for doing this with the Niceville Chamber. I was born and raised here in Okaloosa County, and my wife and I, we met in 4th grade, so we've been married almost 36 years, and she's also a school teacher, and we raised all 3 of our children here, so we've lived here our whole life, and so it's a great place to live. And so I've been involved in educational leadership for 16 years. The last 10 years I have overseen dropout prevention schools and juvenile justice programs here in Okaloosa County, and also served 16 years in public office. I was elected to the county commission and served there for 8 years, and I was also elected to the Florida House of Representatives. And so it's been a great place. I represented the Niceville area both on the county commission that was in my district and also in the legislature. So it's been a great place to live. I have a master's degree in educational leadership and also a specialist degree in education leadership. A specialist degree is 30 hours of doctorate program in educational leadership. So I love education, love our area, love our community.
And we are fortunate to live here.
Yes,
I
we are very
agree.
fortunate.
What makes you the best person to lead our schools?
Yes, well, that's a good question. Well, you know, I believe that our school system is ready for change. I think it's ready for kind of us to hit the restart button, kind of a refresh button, if you'd say. I'm not part of the current leadership. I haven't been part of the school system. I'm not employed by them. And, you know, I believe that it's time for change. And I think that my experience both in education and also in the legislature and as a county commissioner and living here my whole life, that I'm well qualified to provide the leadership that we need. I believe, personally, that leadership has to be willing to deal with the good issues, but also the tough issues as well. And I think that really distinguishes me between me and my opponent. I just believe that our school system over time has seen leadership not dealing with the tough issues. And they have been tough, there's no doubt, but that's part of being a leader and what I've learned as a leader in elected office and in education leadership, that you have to deal with the tough issues as well, be very transparent and very open with the public, and I think that's the big difference.
And we do have some issues going on.
We do, unfortunately, yes.
So what do you think is the biggest challenge facing Okaloosa County schools at this time?
Sure. Well, I think there's probably 3, and I'll just name them very quickly.
Okay.
Leadership, you know, I think we need a new leader, and I think we need a leader that will build trust back into our school system and build the transparency that we need. Certainly the coronavirus has created a major challenge for all of us in education, and we have to make sure when schools open up that we open up safely. But really the challenge with education is going to be the distance learning, making sure that the teachers are well trained and the parents and the students are well trained. So whether we're in school or whether we have distance learning, that we still have good instruction coming from our teachers and from our staff, and so the training and being prepared for that. And then thirdly, just quickly, is that the state budget is going to be greatly affected by the coronavirus. And while I was in the legislature, I was a budget chair. Actually, I was a budget chair when we had the housing crisis, so I understand how the legislature works and how the budget works. And here in Okaloosa County, over half of our school budget comes from the legislature. So knowing how that works and knowing how to work with the legislature so we can see the least impact of education with our budget, I think are 3 very key issues as we look forward.
Very good. Tell us your thoughts, like with the coronavirus, when we open the schools, how would you recommend that we do that?
Yeah. Well, I definitely recommend that we do it very safely. I don't think we need to rush. I understand the importance of students going to school, and I believe that students need to go to school as well.
Yeah.
But what we want to make sure is that we don't rush into it. We have a good plan put in place, and that the parents they feel safe. So we survey our parents in the schools that we work with, and our survey shows that no matter what plans we make, if the parents don't feel safe and don't feel comfortable, they're not coming to school. So we need to really communicate well with families.
So education to the families is very
Absolutely.
important.
Make them know that their child is safe when they're there.
Certainly. Please share some closing messages to our voters.
Yes. Well, first of all, I certainly appreciate the vote. The election's August 18th. It's 5 weeks from tomorrow.
Coming up.
It's coming up soon. So I certainly appreciate their support. And I love this community. I was born and raised here. I love our school system. I want to see us become great again. Whenever I was in the legislature, Okaloosa School District had the best reputation of any school district in the state. And I want to get us back to that place again. And I'd certainly enjoy serving this community. I've had a chance to serve for many years, and I would love to serve as school superintendent and see our school district be the shining light that it's been for many years.
Awesome. Well, Ray, thank you again for joining us today and your willingness to serve our community. We appreciate your time today.
Thank you very much.
It is your privilege, honor, and responsibility to be informed and cast your vote. This is an important time in the world, and on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce, we hope that these interviews have helped you and get to know our candidates a little better. Thank you for joining us and wish you and your family much health and happiness.